welcome back to my channel, Relocate with Kaya. I am Kaya and I provide online support via consulting and coaching with individuals, employees, and families that are moving abroad. I provide them with relocation, country-specific resources. And on my channel, I share my own personal journey of moving from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Johannesburg, South Africa with my husband, Rich, and our beautiful daughter, Nina. Today, I wanted to just discuss the process of renting in South Africa. What I found through my own personal experience and just some research is that the renting process is very similar to the States. As a realtor, a lot of the requirements that are necessary are the exact same requirements that I would have to expect from potential tenants looking to rent. So I was very happy to know that the process was very familiar. So it's not too scary and overwhelming because the way they do things are so similar to how we do things in the States regarding the renting process. So just, a little bit of information if you're considering moving to South Africa. 3 of the most popular areas are Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. Full disclosure, I've only been to Cape Town and Johannesburg. I'm not too familiar with Durban, but those are the 3 areas that expats tend to move to. And doing a little bit of research for this video, I came across information that between the years of 2017 through 2021, there have been 500,000 expats that have migrated to Cape Town. And that number just seems wild to me, but not surprising because if you've ever been to Cape Town, you definitely get the draw and the appeal. It's so beautiful. And in Johannesburg, between 2017 and 2021, there have been over 1 million people that have migrated to the city of Johannesburg. So the secret's out. Like, people are definitely discovering this beautiful country and migrating here. And because there's been such an influx of people, that obviously has an impact on rental rates. So the cost of living and the cost for rentals have gone up over the last few years. But still, if you're coming from the States, most assuredly, it's going to be affordable, and you're definitely going to be able to find something that you like. So you just have to decide which city you want to live in. We chose Johannesburg because we are city dwellers, and we just love being in proximity to all of the liveliness and the hustle and bustle of living in the city. So once you kind of, at least decide on the city that you want to live in, you're going to want to know the types of homes that you have access to. So in Johannesburg, Cape Town, or Durban, they pretty much all have the same choices. You can do a standard apartment, you can do a townhome, you can do a cluster, which essentially is a group of townhomes in a development. You can do a cottage, which is like a guest house on the estate, or you can do a detached home. So again, very similar to the States. You just get more for your money, and the quality is better. And I'll never stop saying that. So those are your choices. You're able to look at properties on 3 major websites. One is Property 24, which is one of my personal favorites. Another website is Private Property and Gumtree. So you're just going to go onto any one of these websites, figure out what your budget's going to be, the type of home you want to rent, the neighborhood, the amenities, plug all that information in, and these websites will populate your choices. You're going to go through the list of apartments. you're going to contact, usually it's going to, 99% of the time, it's going to be an agent. Sometimes you will have for rent by owner. So there are going to be times where you're going to be contacting or dealing directly with the property owner, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an agent. Again, very similar to the States. You contact them, make an appointment to go see the property, and if you like it, so begins the whole process of filling out an application, deposits. But if I could just circle back, because we were in the States trying to do all this, we obviously didn't have the opportunity of coming to see the actual property. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I was introduced to a wonderful, kind agent that offered to go look at properties for us, film them, and then send the information back to us, in addition to giving her own personal opinions and advice, being a local and being here in South Africa. So that's kind of what our process looked like. We didn't actually see the home until we actually arrived in South Africa. But if you're here and you have the opportunity to look at rentals, same process. You're just going to contact the agent. They will schedule an appointment. You do a walkthrough. Easy peasy. So once you decide on a place that you love, you're going to submit an application. Yes, just like in the States, there is an application fee and there is an application process. So regarding the application, they're going to require that you have an ID and a visa. I'm just going to full stop on the visa part of this video. What we learned is that almost, I would say over 90% of the agents and property owners are going to want you to have a visa. Rich and I were not able to rent until we actually had that visa in hand. So I just want to let people know that if you are lucky enough to come across a property owner or development that will work with you without having a visa, then consider yourself lucky. But for the most part, you are definitely going to need to have a visa in order to sign a contract, a lease. So we found that out kind of the hard way. Because I'm like, how are these people moving and renting and they don't have a visa? Well, you have to have a visa. And what I will say to people that is a concern, finding a place, like having to wait to the last minute to find a rental after you get your visa. Definitely if I could put your mind at ease, there are so many properties in Johannesburg that we never worried about. We didn't have to worry about missing out on an opportunity of finding something, because you have so many choices. So unlike in the States, where a lot of times property, if you're a renter, you have to give like 60-day notice. Here in Johannesburg, they honestly won't even agree to signing a lease until like a month out. So it actually, so it's not going to be an issue for you to find an apartment, even if you have to find something within 30 days. That's kind of how they operate. Whereas though in the States, if you're a renter, they want you to give them 60-day notice. They put the apartment on they put the apartment on the website, and start showing. But yeah, even though you may have to wait until you get your visa to decide to rent, you're not going to have any issues finding an apartment. So you're going to, the application, the ID is required, a visa is required, references, proof of employment, proof of employment, references, ID, visa. And they do credit verification. And I think that's also a misconception if they don't do that. And I think on the continent, but no, they definitely do their version of a credit check. So you are definitely going to go through the same process. There is a fee. It's not a huge fee, but you definitely pay a fee for the application. They do require a first month deposit. Sometimes it's non-refundable, but unlike the states, I feel like I shouldn't say this out loud because I don't want them to start doing it, but they don't require that you do a first month, last month in security, which is nice because people always, take issue with that, rightfully so. But that is not something that they require here. It's usually just going to be a first month deposit, and like I said, sometimes it's non-refundable. Sometimes, it is. So yeah, so you'll, do your deposit. And then, what else? So then once you arrive, what they do what is called an inventory walkthrough. So they'll meet you at the property and they'll walk through the house or apartment with you and just go over a checklist of things that are in the apartment. And if it's a furnished apartment, they'll have those things, or house if it's furnished. They'll have all of the items that are in the house. And you just look everything over, make sure all those things there. You sign up on the list as well as the property owner. And you're good to go. What I appreciate about this inventory list is that if there are, things that any defects or issues, you're definitely going to want to include that in that list, because you don't want to be responsible for, having to repair or fix something that was there prior to you moving in. So it protects you and also the property owner. So I appreciate the inventory checklist. So once you do your little walkthrough, you get your keys. You're, just like anywhere else, you're responsible for getting all utilities turned on. For Rich and I, we lucked out where the property owner pretty much pays, or like everything is included in our rent. So the only thing that we pay independent of the utilities and the rent is our electric. We're responsible for that. But the water, the ADT, the internet, all that is kind of bundled into our monthly rent, which is nice. So we didn't have to worry about setting up any of that. But those are things that you will definitely need to arrange to have turned on. And thankfully, a lot of that stuff can be done online. So it's not a huge hassle, but it definitely is nice not having to do it. So you're going to want to have the water, electric, internet, TV, and telephone set up, just like in the States, prior to moving in. Let's see, what else is there? Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. Like, it really is, if you've ever rented in America, and I'm only speaking for America because that's my lived experience. Very similar. No surprises that I can think of. I just think no surprises. So don't feel like they do anything vastly different. If you've done it in the States, then you could do it here. The biggest surprise was the whole visa thing and not realizing that they're not going to rent to you unless you have one, or just the overall sentiment and the people that we dealt with. That was a lot of their responses. So just make sure that you have that set up. And like I said, if you come across somebody that's willing to, go around that, then consider yourself lucky. But it's you're signing that lease. You're bound to, you're kind of locked in, like that's your protection. And the lease also, I forgot to mention this, the lease is also very standard. It has your information, the property owner's information, the address of the property, when your rent is due, what you're responsible for doing, what the property owner is responsible for doing. All that's included in the agreement, which is also very similar and standard. They do, and I feel like they probably do this in the States too, but they definitely include the option of increasing the rent on your lease after your lease is up. So standard lease, standard process. Yeah, yeah, definitely don't be intimidated. I think just not trying to get an idea of what a property looks like from afar was the only concern. But once our agent sent us videos, it felt like we were walking through the property ourselves. So, and then once we arrived, we were very, very happy with the home. Um, yeah, we were very happy with the home in the area. So it ended up working out very well. So hopefully, this video was helpful to my future expats, particularly those that are considering moving to South Africa. I really am an advocate for it. I want this for you if this is what you want. So hopefully this information was beneficial to you. And if you have any questions or comments, excuse me, please feel free to leave them below. Of course, thank you for watching. I'm so humbled that people care about anything that I have to say. I feel like I'm just speaking out to the universe, and if it resonates with somebody, then I'm doing what I've been called to do. So thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.